only to find out she found a new boyfriend. I couldn't help myself continuing to talk to her and yes, even flirt with her, which is somewhat
Congratulations, you played yourself.
What's up you guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we have more juicy Reddit stories to share and I hope you guys are ready. Buckle up and let's go. Our first story of the day is this story titled "Man Asked Me to Send Dinner Money." Bracket, ladies, is this common? So never thought I would have a worst day in my life experience, but here it is. I'm wondering if it's common or if it's just my luck. So I met guy Jay through Complete Me matchmaking event. Event was well organized and professional. Organizer informed me that Jay and I matched mutually. On our first date, he told me if he asked the girl out, he would pay and he settled the bill. Bracket, I ordered the cheapest main on the menu. On the second date, he ordered the most expensive dish for two of us to share. Bracket, have to pay additional to upgrade the meal. Under the impression that number one, if I asked a girl out, I would pay. Number two, I'm underweight and don't eat much. Bracket example, if I order cai peng, I only manage to eat taugeh plus tofu before I have to stop. Number three, he didn't consult me on the extra cost to add onto the meal. Plus, he ate way more than I did. Number four, he quickly grabbed the bill when the waiter placed on my side of the table. So I didn't offer to pay. I showed him a cheesecake shop because I wanted to buy him one, but man didn't eat cheesecake. Date continued normally. Jay initiated some playful touch. Okay. Was looking forward to the third date that weekend. However, after I reached home, I got the biggest shock of my life. He sent me shocked the bill and asked me to send him money for the dinner. I felt it was quite distasteful, but I paid my half and politely expressed that we may not be compatible. First off, can I just say that this whole grammar, whatever, no punctuation nonsense is giving me a stroke. Like, girl or boy, can you please fix that? Because okay, I guess at this point, the reason why she's shocked is because number one, she didn't eat much. And she's under the impression that if he asks her out on a date, he's gonna pay, which I mean, it makes sense, right? And also, he also grabbed the bill real fast when the waiter put it there. So she was like, okay, so maybe he's gonna pay for the second date. And until she went home and he pulled the, hey, can we go 50-50 card? And then she was like bamboozled. She's like, what? Anyways, man proceeded to scold me, telling me not to think I'm special and that taking time to be present is not what makes a relationship work.
That's true.
And that he dodged a bullet, which left me quite bamboozled because I literally rescheduled two upcoming events just to meet him, and since when are we in a relationship? My take on this whole story is everything would have been avoided if you guys talked about it from the get-go. If you wanted to go 50-50 from the get-go as a man on the second date, I feel like you should tell the girl. I'm just saying, I feel like there will be less shock, less bamboozling, and maybe you guys might feel okay about it, because I know there are some girls out there who are okay doing the 50-50 thing because it's fair. So if you tell her right from the start, maybe like you can avoid all this like drama going on. Also, like, can you please have some decency? Like, if you're gonna eat way more than a girl, and how are you gonna expect her to go 50-50? Like, at least go 70-30 or something, right? Someone in the comments said something really funny. So this comment said he wanted to pay first so he can collect credit card points. That is so wild. Like, can you imagine like actually just snatching up that bill so that you can claim whatever points and then be like, hey, you know, actually how about we go 50-50? That's wild. That is cheapo. That's pure cheapo. Oh my god, I just scrolled and I find the exact guy in question. So there's this guy whose username is naturalstore272. I am the man mentioned in this post and I had to create an account as I find this very biased and frankly a lot of untruths. For context, I paid the first meal out of goodwill, and for the second meal when it was time to pay, she made no indication of taking it or acknowledging the bill. Okay, this checks out because she mentioned it in her story, right? So what were we supposed to do? Sit there and stare at each other? So I took it to the counter to settle first, and then she conveniently dips to the toilet for some time instead of going to the counter. After coming back, she didn't even bother asking how much it was or whether she needed to chip in, and just avoided the topic. After reaching home, I just texted her, "Hey, I hope you got home safe. Would you like to chip in for dinner?" Which was around blah blah blah. I don't think it was an unreasonable thing to say, and I didn't even suggest to go Dutch. And I wasn't even pushy about it. Like, are you listening to what you just said or wrote? How are you gonna ask her like, "Hey, would you like to chip in for the dinner?" and then proceed to say, "I wasn't even intending for her to think about going Dutch." Like, just like, be for real. Like, you asking her whether you want to split is already telling her that you want to split. Like, what? Do you expect her to just be like, "No, I don't think so"? Like, bro, use your brain, bro. On our first date, it was the same situation. Basically, she didn't acknowledge the fact that there was a bill that needs to be settled, and I just went to pay. After that, she didn't suggest to pick up the second date. Okay, fair enough. Seems from her post, because I paid for the first date, I'm expected to pay for all subsequent ones. Where does this entitlement come from?
Yikes.
Then should I go into every new encounter clearly stating we will go Dutch? Cannot be what? Usually people will chip in here and there and have some etiquette, I assume. Well, to be fair, I'm not taking sides here, but to be fair, the girl did say that she wanted to buy him a cheesecake or something, and he didn't eat a cheesecake, as he didn't like cheesecake. So I feel like she could have given him something else. Like, if I expect the guy to pay on the second date for some reason, I would buy him like a gift, like maybe bubble tea, maybe a cake, just so that I don't feel bad, you know? So I don't know what went on the second date, but yeah. Moreover, the place we went to on the second date was 𝘓𝘓𝘵, and we ordered one of their basic fish and one rice and 2 bottles of plain water without adding anything. It's not true when she said I suggested to add on additional things. We went through the options and I showed her my phone screen before I ordered. When the food came, she also ate a substantial amount, and when she was full, I offered to finish some of her portion as I didn't want to waste it. I also chose the place because of her dietary requirements, which she told me included no beef, no fast food, and I later got to know that she cannot take rice and is lactose intolerant as well. Okay, fine, so I factored all this in and went straight for fish. In fact, I had suggested somewhere more basic, but she didn't want to go. Side note, can I just say something? 𝘓𝘓𝘵, right? I went there before, I ate with a friend, and that place is expensive. Like, just for a basic fish and then 2 bowls of white rice and maybe some soda, they can cost you up to $90, including service charge and tax. Going there on the second date feels a bit iffy. Like, I would not go there on the second date just because I would feel bad making the guy pay like close to $100 for a second date, and we don't even know if we like each other that much. But if she has like some dietary problem, then I guess this is what it is. Also, some other points. She didn't offer to buy me cheesecake. Don't know where that came from. In fact, she didn't offer to do anything that would make me assume that she was even interested to meet again. She mentioned to me that she would prioritize her work over any potential relationship even before our first date. She mentioned she never ever initiates even in a committed relationship and expect the guy to initiate 100% of the dates. And if a guy stops chasing her, she will ghost him. Okay, the only logical explanation I think that would make sense is maybe because she's busy, like she's prioritizing her work, she don't have time for men, so if you want her attention, you have to chase after her. I assume that it's what she meant. That if a guy stopped chasing her, then he is insecure. Texts were one-sided and essentially I felt like an option. At this point, it's just he say, she say. I feel like we would know better if they just send like a freaking screenshot of whatever went down in their phone chat, and then we have the black and white. In essence, after our second date, I basically felt used as there was literally zero reciprocity and basically felt like a walking ATM expected to initiate meetups and foot the bill while her job was simply to show up and talk.
You what?
So a normal sane person would just assume that she's probably not that into me and just dip. If there was any interest, then I really failed to see it translated to actions. Okay, I was trying to give him benefit of the doubt, but then all hope went out the window after I read this, because what do you mean? If she doesn't offer to pay a little bit of the bill, means she's not that into you.
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
Like, if you're gonna enter into the dating world with this mindset that, like, everyone is using you as an ATM, you're not getting anywhere, let's be real. And also, unless you are like a straw man, how can you not feel the vibes? When like someone likes you, they will start to be like really animated, they will be so excited. And if someone is not interested in you, like, I feel like you can tell. Like, can you not tell? Could I have handled it better? Probably, but from her post, seems like the essence is she's not happy that I requested her to chip in for date 2, and my comments on her lack of etiquette which was only 1 to 2 lines and not a tirade of scoldings, lol. Her unhappiness led her to come online, create a biased post to seek validation from random and internet strangers. Just reinforces my views that I dodged the bullet. I think it's good that they dodge each other. I don't think one side is particularly at fault. I'm just gonna say that the guy really makes me wanna gag. Like, scolding your date for not trying to pay is like a whole new level of what is going on. If you don't like her because she didn't offer to pay and you feel like it's not nice as a date to not offer to pay, then just politely be like, okay, thanks for your time, goodbye. Like, why do you have to scold her? Like, you're not even a parent. You're like, who are you, bro? I found this comment which is essentially what I'm trying to say. So this guy, 𝘓𝘦𝘦𝘱, he said that if you offer to pay for your share and he accepts it, I don't think it's a problem. But if you didn't offer to go Dutch and he asks you for money, it shows that he thinks you ain't worth it. You should just pay him back and forget about a second date. Usually if I go on a date with a girl, I'm already prepared to treat her to the meal already. If she want to go Dutch, it's a plus point of my impression of her. She's a keeper. If not, it's also okay though. I will still be willing to ask her out again if she's worth my time and effort, depending on how well the date goes. As a girl, in my opinion, you should also not take a guy's chivalry for granted. He's not even your partner yet, so it's kind of bold of you to assume that he will be generous enough to treat you, if you know what I mean. Not all guys are like that kind. That's why the first date is usually to filter out the bad lot. Relating back to your case, he's just being a calculated pay your share, block, and move on. Ha ha ha, good riddance. This self-assuming big man will have a taste of his own medicine one day with some Kinder coupon girls. If you guys vibe well and you see yourself going to second date with him, then I feel like money isn't the biggest problem there. Like, if you have to worry about money problems on the second date, it feels like you guys are not that serious about each other. Okay, next story. Phew. Someone explained to me what her deal was. Hear me out. So I was in love with someone for a long time. First time I met her, she was already in a relationship, albeit a toxic one. She knew I liked her and I was in a lot of pain not being able to be with her, so I let her go. 1 year later, she broke up with her boyfriend and I suspected I still liked her and she was right. However, I gave a vague answer to why I liked her, and she said she couldn't return the feelings. We still talk quite a lot, played games online together, etc. I thought I had reached a point where I was mentally healthy to pursue her and be honest about why I loved her, only to find out she found a new boyfriend. I couldn't help myself continuing to talk to her and yes, even flirt with her, which is somewhat
Congratulations, you played yourself.
She already said multiple times she couldn't return your feelings. But you continue to talk to her, you continue to flirt with her. I don't know why. Like, are you hoping that one day she can wake up and be like, actually, you know what? You are my Prince Charming. You know what? You have been here all along since like 2 years ago and you're still here. I feel like you are the one. No one's gonna do that. And the only reason why you're still here and why she entertained your flirting even though she found a new boyfriend, high chance because she just wants attention. But of course we couldn't be together and we even had a serious talk about it and she said she don't feel the same. Bruh. I dropped the topic and decided I will move forward. However, recently she found out I was at an anime event where she was boothing and I didn't say hi to her and she got pissed off. And she figured it was because of our talk that I was avoiding her, which yeah, I definitely was. It's going to be too painful for me. But I tried to be vague and acted dumb and confused because I didn't get what her deal even was. She chose to end our friendship, which pissed me off because earlier this year, she knew I myself wanted to end the friendship because I was hurting. But she responded with, it doesn't have to be anything serious between us.
Huh?
Yet now she decided to do it when I didn't visit her. She said, what we have is not platonic anymore both ways. And I'm like, what the f. So the too long didn't read of the second paragraph is he wanted to end the friendship, but then she hold him back and be like, there doesn't have to be anything serious between us. We can still be like a platonic friendsies. And then he kept her as a friend. But then now, because he didn't go to her booth, because he was avoiding her, because he is being hurt, that she moved on with a new guy. And then she decided, like, you know what? You didn't visit me at the anime booth. You are trying to beef with me. So I want to end this friendship because whatever we have between us is not even platonic from the get-go. So now the OP is pissed because she one-upped him when he gave her a chance. This is peak cinema, by the way. Edit, she also started looking at my IG stories a bit more after ignoring them for 2 years. Edit 2. Also in one of her messages, she said, why do you keep denying how I feel about me?
Huh?
I think he meant, why do you keep denying how you feel about me? But later edited it to criticizing me for it instead, trying to pretend I didn't see it. So the girl literally rejected him more than 2 times at this point, right? And then she kept stalking his IG stories, kept messaging him and be like, why do you keep denying how you feel about me, blah blah. I feel like she needs to move on. She needs to get a grip and decide who she really likes in life, or see therapy or whatever, because I'm getting a headache just reading this story and I feel like she needs to get to her. Oh, there's this comment that is really interesting. So this Suki Duki Time said that she's treating you as her final backup if all her other relationships didn't work out. If that's not the case, you are a side character to her. She was never serious about giving you a chance because she never liked you in the way that you liked her. That explains why she constantly gets into relationships despite knowing that you are into her. You were also gullible enough to continue the friendship with her when this happened for the first time. When you decided to move on for the second time, she realized that she will lose the attention that you provided for her. Therefore, she got angry at you over it as she doesn't have a puppet, which is basically you, to play around. I highly advise you to cut all ties with her for good.
We need to pray for her.
Amen.
But we also need to get her the hell out of here.
Amen.
Okay, the third story. I think this is a rant post because it's so long, but let's just jump right into it. I'm 31M, local Singaporean, single, and I'm officially done with dating apps and dating in general. Dating in Singapore for a local man is really the most frustrating thing that nobody should put up with, and here are the reasons why. I have to say I've been on and off in relationships over the years. Started to use the apps 10 years ago, and the dating scene is just getting as the years go by. Number 1, browsing through profiles. The profiles are just a trove of red flags. There's girls writing on their prompts that they love a tattooed guy, men who are emotionally unavailable,
Huh?
Local Chinese men don't need to apply. Her therapist told her she has mental issues, etc. Or their prompts go like, you need to do XYZ to impress me. I admit, I'm emotionally unavailable. Treating me like a princess is just the bare minimum.
I am disgusted.
What else do you bring to the table? Do you really want to swipe right on this? I know most men are desperate as AF and would swipe right on anything, but come on, have some standards. Can I just say that the funny thing about the disparity between women and men is men are always afraid to show their emotions, but for women somehow, if you say you're emotionally unavailable or if you have some mental issues, you feel like it's a relieving thing to say, like you feel like very open about it. I just think it's kind of funny. Second point, you got a match. Okay, so what now? Women mostly won't drop a starter, and even their starters won't lead the conversation anywhere. Most of the time, men initiate, and so you crack your head and come up with something lighthearted and interesting. Nope, nothing, eerie silence. Okay, so some responded, but many have nothing in their profile to talk about. So you go with the safe, how's your day? And you get ghosted. Otherwise, you find something interesting in their bio and tease her on it. She gets offended and unmatched you. Or you can even have a conversation going, everything looks to be fine, you drop a joke. She, as always in 2025, gets offended and launch a tirade against you. Or you can be just having a great conversation, great to and fro's, and you ask if she's free next week and she goes, oh, I'm so busy with work, busy with meeting my same few friends, busy with travel, their primary hobby, all of them. So I can only meet you 3 months later. Okay, right off the bat, I agree. I think women goes more than men because women have more options than men because there are more men using the apps than women. And most of the time, I feel like you really have to stand out, like you have to be their type, you have to look aesthetically pleasing, you have to be funny, just to get a little bit of their attention, which is, I mean, it's gonna be a problem for sure. They will put in more effort if they find you aesthetically pleasing. I mean, that's how the dating app goes, right? Everything is mainly like lookism. So if you have good looks, you can get their attention fast. If you don't, might take a while. The last line about busy with everything and they can only meet you 3 months later, I don't know if it's a personal thing, but I don't meet guys that easily. Like when I was single and when I was using the dating app back then, I don't meet them that readily because number one, I don't know if it's safe. I don't know if I can trust you. And number two, I feel like women are more into texting and men are more into like dating in person. Like they prefer a coffee date. If they ask me for a coffee date right off the bat, like next week, I would freak out because I am so introverted. I have social anxiety. Just meeting strangers makes me like so nervous. The third one, going on a date. Okay, so you finally found one seemingly normal woman who shows interest and actually followed through with a date. And the date turns into an interview session. What do you do for a living? Do you drive here? Where do you stay? Oh, Tiong Bahru, I see. Condo or HDB? Do you invest? Or which stocks do you buy? When do you start buying it? What's the point of paying to attend an interview session for a job that isn't even gonna pay me? And which I have to pay for to work at. There's no vibes during dates in 2025 anymore. Men always want to impress a human, but it's the women who kill whatever vibes there may be. I feel like the problem he have right now is mainly because he's 39. Assuming he's going for a woman in his age range, obviously they're gonna ask you things about money, right? Because at that age, if you want to settle down, if you want to have kids, and you're looking for a woman in their 30s, they will be concerned whether you are financially stable to have a kid with you, to BTO with you, that kind of thing. But I feel like this whole thing will be different if you guys use the app in your 20s. Like when you're in your 20s, you meet people who are not serious and they just want to fuck. You deal with like one-night stands, people who just want to bang. And then in your 30s, you deal with people who are too straightforward, who are too materialistic, asking you what you bring on the table, that kind of thing. Just different levels. Number 4, finally got together with someone. Okay, what then? Oh, don't worry, he's just my boss who helped me a lot. We are going for a drink, nothing in it. Yes, I'm texting him every waking minute, but come on, he's just my colleague. You gotta go through nights where she didn't even respond to your texts. You have to wonder the whole night where she's been and who she's been with. You go with her and she's busy texting male colleagues and friends, and you wonder why she's never this responsive to your texts. You pay for dates, but just feel like you're dating her shell and she always seems distracted. Otherwise, she's finding fault and arguing over non-issues. You cannot follow other girls on IG, you cannot go out with other women, but there she is DMing influencers on it.
You what?
Do people do that? Do you just DM influencers? When you confront her, she will just say, let's take a break. And we all know that's when she's exploring her options. Then when the break really came, she goes around victimizing herself to solicit attention from her fellow female friends who tell her she can do better, her ex is toxic, etc. And the male arbiters, including her boss and colleagues, who she claimed are just on professional terms with her. Dating an SG as an SG man is really the most retarded thing to do, especially in 2025. Like, why do you want to add needless stress and frustration on a very low quality dating pool? I've seen how the dating scene goes over the years. Guys, please do yourself a favor, work on yourself, find some other hobbies to do. It's not entirely impossible to find a wife on like dating apps. You just need to find the right one. You just need to have luck that you will find a good girl who will want to spend time with you, talk to you properly, not just like make you initiate conversation all the time. Or otherwise, you can always get your friends to recommend to wingman you with their other friends. I think those work too because it's like a bit organic and it doesn't feel like wishy-washy. Okay, for the last Reddit thread, this one's not really a story, it's more like a asking girls questions kind of thing. So I thought it would be fun for me to answer some of them. So this question is for girls with a height preference or know someone who has one, asking for a friend. How will you justify how much taller the guy needs to be from you? Is +1 cm enough? Or +5 or +10? Does he need to hit some arbitrary number like 178? Number 2, is this a hard deal breaker or would there be room to negotiate if the guy hit all the right boxes before you saw his height on the dating app? Before I knew anyone, before I dated anyone, I had this mental image that the guy that I'm gonna end up with is at least 10 cm taller than me. So if I'm 165, I'll expect him to be at least 175. But I did entertain like talking to a guy who's 170. So I guess maybe it wasn't that, like when you talk to people online, it didn't hit you that hard yet, but then when you actually meet them in person, it might be a whole different thing. Don't think it's a hard deal breaker. Like if they didn't hit 175, is it the immediate no? I don't think so. But my deal breaker would be if they are shorter than me, then that is a deal breaker. When girls say things like no need for flowers or it's okay, can text me when you're free, how to tell whether she means it literally versus being considerate? I tend to take things at face value and feel like this has led to communication breakdowns in my past relationship. My guy friends just say reading between the lines comes with experience, so I'm curious to hear from a girl's POV. When girls overthink a lot, we always try to be considerate. We don't want you to do things too much for them because they'll feel bad. But they also want the things done for them on your own accord. Like they want you to be sincere, they want you to do things without them having to expect you to do things. So if you're in doubt, always go the extra amount. Buy her flowers, buy her cakes, spend time with her, surprise her, like give her something unexpected. You just say don't. You can text me when you're free. You can just send her a meme if you're really busy. Just send her a meme. It's just a photo, right? You don't need to text. Okay, that's all the time I have for today. I don't know if you like the stories today. I hope so, because they can be a bit too drama-ish. I don't know. But I did have fun reading them. I hope you like my videos and whatever I say, I hope it makes sense. I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace and stay safe. Happy New Year. Bye!